Hello everyone, welcome to the Player Review Team channel. Today we've got a triple review of legendary defenders, Carlos Alberto, Cafu, and Koeman. As always, besides breaking down their strengths and weaknesses, we'll also recall some iconic moments from their careers. Let's start with Cafu, the only footballer to ever play in 3 consecutive World Cup finals. The Brazilian has an average body type, 176 centimeters tall with 4+3 stars. For the chemistry style, we recommend Anchor or Shadow. He's got about as many play styles as there are letters in his nickname, but that doesn't make the card bad. We'll get to that. For roles, he's marked as wingback double ++, which is definitely not the dream, though evolutions can give him at least 1 extra point toward the fullback role. Guys, Weekend League already starts, which means it is time to grab the best rewards. If you thought about boosting your account and at the same time having the chance to watch the stream, write to us. Contact is in the video description. So, let's see how quickly Cafu recovers in defense when used as a wingback. Overall, the pace is good, and if you ask whether you can keep him at fullback without pluses, we can confidently say yes. First, he reads his zone extremely well and steps into tackles cleanly even without anticipate. Second, he's incredibly useful for second man press. Like any player with a gold relentless, Cafu becomes more active when holding R1. Despite his relatively short height, the Brazilian is sturdy. You won't bully him the way you can with someone like Frimpong. And if Jordi Alba suddenly pushes forward down his wing, he's risking giving up a counter, because Cafu will deal with him like he's a kid. For both club and national team, the legendary captain always met his opponents aggressively and rarely lost physical duels. He literally chewed into attackers. When controlled manually, Cafu is extremely quick and mobile on jockey, but honestly, the lack of anticipate makes it easier to fly past the ball, so it's better to hit the body rather than poke the ball. One obvious advantage, the left stick. Besides high agility, Cafu is very responsive on R1, which is silver tier here, so carrying the ball forward with him is a pleasure. Speaking of his real career, we can recall his signature juggling dribble, controlling the ball in the air, classic Brazilian style. But this card doesn't have skill moves or trickster, so you're better off keeping it simple. Catch up, bump the body, win the ball. Thankfully, both pace and physicality allow this. Despite only 44 finishing, Cafu can easily convert chances inside the box, at least from close range. Just look at this rocket into the top corner. In real life, his shooting stats were way better than what EA gave him, so you shouldn't actively send him forward in attack, except maybe for a corner, where he can finish after a flick-on thanks to decent jumping and heading. To sum it up, a simple truth. The pick is far cheaper than his market card, but he's not the best option in this very pick. 550,000 worth of fodder looks appealing for Cafu, but when Carlos Alberto costs the same, things become obvious. So let's move on to the next legendary Brazilian. He has an average body type, 180 centimeters tall with 3+4 stars. For chemistry style, we'd recommend Shadow, both for center back and right back usage. He has more useful play styles, especially the gold anticipate. And the fullback ++ role pretty clearly hints at where he performs best, though evolutions can give an extra point toward defender. So first, we checked how effective he is as a center back, especially since his silver card was tearing up the cups. The higher version is just as strong, including at CB and including when used in the defender role without pluses. The lack of lengthy doesn't hurt him. Carlos reacts quickly to long balls and accelerates instantly toward the ball, super important when your CBS get beaten by a chip-through pass. High pace helps him cover teammates you may accidentally drag out of position with aggressive defending. We never got to watch Alberto live, but judging by the footage, he was just as fast and unyielding. Another important factor is his silver jockey. Without it, even this relatively short card would feel significantly worse with manual defending. Anticipate Plus is the first thing that grabs attention, especially if you play tactical defending or rarely use shoulder challenges. The main advantage is not just that the ball stays at your feet after a tackle, it's that the tackle animations are better. The player extends the leg further and can dispossess even from behind. We didn't find flashy tackle highlights, so here's a slide tackle, which by the way, he doesn't even have as a playstyle. What he also doesn't have is blocks, and that's where things get serious. The lack of blocks is the most critical flaw of this card at CB. It shows often in tight situations. Here's a gold finesse being blocked by UCL Saliba, who has a silver blocks. Another issue is the not so tall height. A silver intercept isn't always enough. Carlos simply can't reach far enough. And anticipate doesn't always trigger automatically during jockey, you still need to press the tackle button. That's why we see him more as a right back than a central defender. Interceptions are easier there, and the fullback ++ role becomes very noticeable. Here's a great example highlighting the importance of positioning. Militão loses the ball, but watch how Alberto instantly collapses inside, essentially taking his position and intercepting. And yes, Carlos loses to Cafu in terms of pace and jockey sharpness, but he's truly more reliable because of the role and because of his play styles. Plus, he's physically stronger, though not as technical. Judging by career highlights, he did have some dribbling, but nothing outstanding. Still, that cheeky nutmeg is worth mentioning. And having a silver long ball is useful for a fullback to send switches toward your right winger. In short, in the pick, we recommend Carlos Alberto over Cafu. Of course, you can skip the pick entirely. Koundé is approaching, but first, as of recording this video, we don't know Koundé's stats. Second, Alberto will cost almost half the SBC price compared to his market value, and right now it's easy to generate plenty of fodder with minimal coin spending. So even before Koundé details appear, Alberto instantly landed on our accounts, and we're sure that despite his flaws, many will love him precisely as a center back, not a fullback, paired with Pacho, Cannavaro, or future Koundé. And if you've long wanted to upgrade your right back to someone more reliable, even more reason not to skip this SBC. By the way, today's ratings will appear on our Twitter. Now let's move to the final icon of the trio, worth 400,000. Ronald Koeman has the same average body type, 181 centimeters tall with 3+3 stars. For chemistry style, obviously Shadow. Reminder, this card is dynamic and linked to PSV, which is okay, but let's be honest, Barcelona would have been better. Some important playstyles for CBS are missing, but they may appear after upgrades. However, he already has Defender double ++, which is great. Yes guys, the pace isn't outstanding, but also not bad. Sure, sometimes he lacks that burst, but it's hardly noticeable, even compared to the previous players. And you know what? Koeman is actually pretty solid, both in pace and defensive ability. Of course, we'd still prefer Carlos Alberto or Pacho with Koundé, but Koeman is not a bad CB at all, just less exciting, at least for us. He's got strong physicality and aggression, though his tackle animations often look weird, as if he's shielding with his back rather than tackling. He's quite aggressive with manual tackles, strong foot placement, and works decently even without anticipate. A useful trait, bruiser, which lets him play without anticipate, at least on advanced defending. His Defender ++ role helps him stick to attackers, allowing him to win anticipation battles more often. But the biggest thing, his gold intercept. Unlike Alberto's silver one, it works consistently. He reaches for the ball better despite similar height. Next, his passing is surprisingly good, even with only long ball as his play style. For example, here he delivers a pinged pass while adjusting perfectly to the ball. And no, he has no business playing as a CM. Sorry, but without the correct playstyles, his stats mean nothing there, and his left stick dribbling is, let's be honest, weak. At corners, he slightly lacks power header. Not critical though, because his jumping animations are very good. Still a shame he doesn't have aerial fortress yet. And these iconic Koeman long shots? Not for us, at least not in this game. You can score one thanks to the stats, but as always, playstyles matter more, and the game isn't about long shots anyway. So Koeman is strictly a central defender, and only for players who already plan to complete him. You absolutely won't be disappointed. Everyone else, feel free to skip and wait for Koundé, or consider completing Carlos Alberto instead. If this video was useful or helped kill some time, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. It helps us a lot, and if you share the video with a friend, you'll become a legend of the channel. If you still have questions, drop them in the comments. We'll try to reply quickly. Thanks for watching till the end, and see you in the next videos.